flow.
Amen. And we are live.
Mm.
Hey guys, come on in. We won't be on here long, so you may have to catch the replay. But there's just been a lot going on, and I text Dr. Jill out the blue, like, hey, can you go live with me?
I just wanted to do it because she knew she looked extra pretty with her lashes and everything and her hair.
Thanks. But so Dr. Jewel has been on live every day talking about race and economics. And for those who don't know, Dr. Jewel is an economist by profession. And she's my mentor, my spiritual mom, money mentor, all that good stuff. And so I wanted to bring her on because it's so much like 2020. I've seen memes about it. Like 2020 is it's not just a chapter in a book. It's like its own book. Like literally 2020 is its own book. Like so much has happened. But at the end of the day, even with everything that's happened, we are still in a position to create the life that we want for ourselves at the end of the day. And so just kind of, looking at everything that's happened this week, Dr. Jewel, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how do you feel? Like, because I know all of us, like how we strive to not operate out of emotions. Sometimes emotions are just there,
Yes. And God gave us emotions, Mill. And I'm glad you asked me to do this live, by the way. Because he did give us emotions and we need them because sometimes they're a barometer to kind of let us know where we are as a society, as a nation, where we need to be. And then also the part that we play. And, obviously this has been a very devastating week, right? To see someone brutally murdered. But what's even deeper is that it's been going on.
Yeah.
And just because of iPhones and technology, we're seeing it so much more. But what's really deep is that how much has happened that we haven't even seen.
Right.
And so Doc and I were watching Janelle, I can't think of her name. We're going to have her on Chatter. And she was talking to I think it was a CNN reporter or NBC, one of them. And they were talking about how LeBron James, stepped up and kind of spoke about what was going on. And this one reporter comes back and say, just shut up and dribble the ball. What? Is it? What? I mean, it's just, and then I don't know if anybody saw, but on Erica Campbell's Instagram, it was a young white girl, probably anywhere between 13 and 18 maybe. And she was debating her parents on how racism had impacted. You see that?
I did.
And her parents didn't know she was recording this.
Right.
And she's like, are you kidding? So you're saying Black people are animals? Well, not all of them, not the successful ones, but the ghetto ones. She's like, but do you understand? And she's sitting there and she's fighting her parents to change their mind. And the mom steps in and backs the dad up. And I'm thinking, bro, we're in 2020. Like, people still think this way. But in 2020.
Programming. It's programming, because the funny thing is I was on Instagram earlier today and there was this father. I can't remember. I have to send it to you. I want to say it's on Lexi's page. But it was his father and a white man, and he had his son. He looked like he might be 7 or 8. And he showed him 4 pictures. And in each picture, it was a Black kid and a white kid. And they were interacting, whether they were hugging or laughing or whatever. So he asked him what stood out in each picture. And he was like, oh, they're laughing with each other. Oh, she's kissing him on the cheek. Oh, they're smiling because they're happy. And then he said, does anything else stand out? And he was like, no. He was like, do they look the same? He was like, yes. He was like, out of all these pictures, which one stands out? And he said, this one. And he was like, why? He said, because that's the only one that has 2 girls in it. So it went back to how you're programmed and what you're taught. So even some of these younger kids who are, talking from this standpoint, is because that's what they were taught. But you sitting here with this 7, 8-year-old kid that cannot tell the difference between you and I or him and the next person, and they look at them the same. We're both boys, you know, and even Steve Harvey, it was a replay that was online, and it was two little boys, and it was twin day, and one of the little boys told his mom that him and this other little boy looked just alike and that they needed to be twins for twin day. So the mom called the other mom and said what size clothes he wear. And then when she took him to school, it was a cute little black boy, and her son was white, and they've been best friends because they're twins and they look alike.
Aww.
So it's just like people, you know, it's ingrained. Like, you choose to be that way. You know, if you don't expose your children to that, then they're gonna grow up and not see a difference. You know, so it's really disheartening in 2020 that people
in 2020,
you know, and people my age or your, you know, like it just blows my mind.
It's something. But it makes me more determined than ever that and let me say this, because we have some amazing, and there have been a lot of amazing Caucasian brothers and sisters who have we had a guy here doing some work yesterday, and he was like, I can't believe this. How do you feel? And and Nicole Crank, and, you know, she's making a whole show out of what we did the other day, Kelly Copeland. So there are a lot of amazing people that are other nationalities.
Absolutely.
So this is not by any way saying that it's everyone, but the ones that have this issue, I'm like, I can't wait for you to believe that I have the right to live my dreams. I can't wait for you to validate me or my community or my people to say that we deserve to live a great life, that we deserve to be wealthy, that we can have wealth, that we can put people in office. How do you put somebody really in office? You remember Michelle Reynolds out of Columbus? She was running for office. Everybody loved her. The community loved her. I thought she was going to win, but it was a check. She didn't have enough money. So, you know, Ben and I, you know, in terms of some action steps that we're taking, first of all, we're more committed to continue to teach that, yes, God does want you to be wealthy.
Absolutely.
And yes, you can have it. And yes, you deserve it. And yes, you don't have to wait for anybody's permission.
Absolutely.
And then we also socially are finding out who are the candidates locally here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where we reside. Who are the candidates here that believe like we believe, that we can get behind and support and do a campaign dinner, a campaign lunch. We want to know where they're at in the campaign. Maybe we can put their sign outside our home. We can have a campaign party here. We can write a check. So we're definitely looking and saying, okay, as leaders in the community, God, what else can we be doing to socially support? But here's the thing. Everybody's got to ask this question, because what becomes dangerous, Mill, is when people start saying, you should. Right. I'm just telling you how Holy Spirit is dealing with us. But this is not for you to get on the bandwagon. Exactly. Unless you're going to come help and set something up now.
Now that's good, because I hear a lot of people, well, why aren't pastors doing this? Or why aren't you doing this? So, like, my thing is, at the end of the day, focus on what you're called to do. Everybody's not called to do the same thing, but we all have our part to play. So if you spend more time on what you're called to do, where this is concerned, everything else will fall into place, but things are lacking because you're mad and still watching me. Watching me and do what you're supposed to do. At the end of the day, things will come into place, because at the end of the day, we cannot change the narrative in our local community by being average. And the average person is just going to be the one that's sitting back pointing the fingers on why you're not doing. Like, nothing's getting done because you're just sitting there watching why I'm not, but you don't know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, because everything's not going to be visible.
Exactly.
Everything is not going to be at an earshot. And I don't believe that every leader or every pastor or every leader, period, is necessary. Their voices may be heard different. Just because you don't see them on Instagram or Facebook like I am doesn't give me the right to go and say, but I didn't see you on Facebook. I didn't see you on Instagram. Maybe they don't feel called to that, but maybe they're making an impact right in their neighborhood. So you really got to stay away from the whole you should, because one thing I know about success and change until you take full responsibility, just for a minute, there's no racism, there's no hate, because here's the thing, I can live above the hate. I've been living above the hate. Now, do I want to dismantle the hate? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't have to live in it. I need to live above it so that I can dismantle it and control it. Because if it controls me, then it controls my destiny. And that I'm not having.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then one of the things that I just heard you say, because you just kind of mentioned this, and I was watching your other live, and I was like, oh, I got to make note of that. Like, even within our communities now, like you saying, you got to live above the hate, you know, living the life of your dreams, you know, getting the right people in position to push our agenda for people who care about our lives, right? Just like what you mentioned with Michelle, it requires money. So yes, I went out to the protests, you know, yes, I want my voice to be heard. But at the end of the day, I'm still over here trying to secure the bag so I can put a check behind the voice that I want to be heard, so that those things that I want in place will go into place. Money talks at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. And the beginning.
At the end of the day. Right. And the you know, but that's why, you know, I feel like it's so important for our community, the Black community, you know, every community, but we're talking about Black people right now. But it's very important for us to recognize the greatness that's on inside of each and every one of us.
Yes.
At the end of the day, focusing on that. And you have to wake up every day with the decision that I want to continue to be great. You know, Marquita posted something in the group today, you know, just encouraging us. You know, she was just saying how greatness comes from the desire to do extraordinary things, you know, and that with the greatness on the inside of you, when you make that decision every day that you want to be great, you won't let anything stop you. So with everything going on, you still can't let anything stop you, because that's how you're going to change the narrative in your community. Now, I'm all for, you know, protests and all of that. I do all of that. Like, my grandma used to take me to all of that stuff back in the day. She was real big in civil rights and everything. But now, not only do we need to push for our voice to be heard, but we have to position ourselves so that we can put people in position that pushes the agenda and cares about us. You know, like you said, at the end of the day, so you have to ask yourself, what am I doing to position myself financially, not only to live the life of my dreams, but to help change things in my community and help change things in the world. You know, when we change our thought process where those things are concerned, that's when nations change.
Yeah, no, seriously. And remember that I create the life that I want to live before I show up in it.
Absolutely.
I'm living in my dream today. I created this yesterday. And now I have goals for myself. You need to ask yourself, what are the goals that I have for myself? Where do I see myself December 2020? What kind of holiday will this be for me? Where do I see myself next year, this time, June 2021? Who will I become? So this platform that Camille and I are part of now for the last 4 years, it allows you to take ideas and expand them. It allows you to learn how to trade, but you don't just learn how to trade. You get access to so many wealth relationships. So I get a phone call from somebody in our wealth focus family that you guys will have access to when you partner. Hey, have you heard about this, that, and the other, where asset management and asset expansion are concerned? I have heard of it, but I think the person I'm in a relationship with has hit their capacity. So I'm interested in talking to somebody else. You got to stay inquisitive. I get on the phone with them. I start asking questions. I'm taking notes. I talked to them again yesterday. I'm like, wait, hold on, say that again. I'm taking notes. So you got to tell yourself it's dangerous when you feel like I'm going to just keep doing what I know to do. It won't change. And this is why the average adult, you don't really see growth like that, because they're not willing to keep learning. They're not willing to keep changing. This platform where you're going to learn I'm telling you, I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. It will blow past every limit that you have about money, that you have about living your dream, that you have about empowering. It will blow past all of that. I'm being stretched. Camille is being stretched. We're learning, we're growing. We're learning, we're growing. We're learning, we're growing. We're learning. And that's the kind of environment that you need to be in. Because if you're not, then you probably won't be learning and you probably won't be growing.
That's good. That's good. So what I would say last, because we weren't gonna be on here long. Let me see. We at 15 minutes. I would get off at 15. But no, we really just wanted to come on and kick it with you guys and just share our heart because, you know, being Black, I don't have kids, but I have lots of Black nephews. I have brothers. I have uncles, you know, and just seeing this cycle, you know, and we have to ask ourselves, what's the common denominator? It's wealth. It's influence, you know, and so it's really time for our community, our people, you know, like ask yourself, what were those goals financially that I set for myself? How much have I saved or what have I completed towards that goal? If it's little to nothing, it's definitely time for you to make some decisions, you know, at the end of the day. And so that's what I had to do. I had to reevaluate some things, you know, and so I just know that I have some goals for myself, for my ministry, my church ministry, and my community. And I know it's going to take money.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm committed to not only, you know, learning myself, but also sharing with other people. There was this quote that said, if you're not reaching back to help another person, you're not building a legacy. A lot of times people look at legacy building as I'm creating something for myself, for my family, but legacy is about the next generation, not just your generations and your physical family, but generations to come. And so that's why you see us on here a lot, because we're all about like what will people say about you when you leave here?
Mm-hmm.
That's your legacy. So are you building a legacy? If you're not, I definitely need you to inbox me if that's a desire that you have, you know, and that's a desire that I have to change generations. You know, I'm a youth minister. So, you know, as much as I can share with the youth in our church about wealth and about money, you know, getting in a position, that's something that I desire to do. And so we just wanted to get on here, you know, just to kind of let you know our heart where everything is concerned. And now is just time to move into massive action.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, with all the feelings and everything, those feelings should provoke you to action, to cause things to change at the end of the day. And so, you know, we're all about taking those action steps. And if you're ready to take action and need some support, we're here, you know, to support. So, you know, just feel free to reach out to us, you know, and really that's all that I got. I mean,
that's a lot. That's a lot. And I always tell Camille, I'm proud of her because, you know, it is about other people. You know, we've been very blessed and, you know, I feel an obligation. She feels an obligation. I mean, if I wanted, I could just sit back on my laurels and get up, eat, chill, do a little something. I mean, I really don't have the mandate that's on my life is from God.
yeah.
And so it's not just about becoming quote unquote successful. First of all, I still have so much to grow. I have so much more to accomplish. I'm grateful, but I'm not impressed. I have so much more to do. And I hope you feel the same way, that you have so much more to do, that you couldn't just sit back and chill, even if you thought you wanted to. You better take you a day and get back on it. So Camille, they need to reach out to you.
So you can basically inbox me here on Facebook to hit me up, or you can go to tradewithcamille.com if you want to get more information. And I'll be happy to get you connected. We have a very amazing family within the Helping Families movement. our goal is to help as many families as we can across the globe to change the lives and control the economies in their home, regardless of who is or who is not in office, but putting you in position to, determine what your income and what that will look like for you and your family. So I'm super excited to connect with everybody. Dr. Jewel, thank you for kicking it.
Yay! Come join the Wealth family. We have so much fun together too.
Absolutely. So
I love you all.